Hey, what's up? Thank you for joining me again. Butterfly to Light, back with that divine communication. And I want to start by saying that this is the North Node, South Node axis video for Leo and Aquarius. As you already know, many of you, but if you don't, I would like to let you know that if you need information on what your North Node or South Node is, please you go to Google, type in birth chart calculator, have your birth certificate ready so that you can put your time, birth certificate or time of birth into the birth chart calculator to find out what your particular North Node, South Node placement is. Yeah, so check it out. And please look in the drop down box because I have a list of other videos that I have there that you can watch, as well as the main video for the North Node, South Node, axle points, the meaning and a couple questions that people pose as far as to the meaning of North Node, South Node axis. So, but let's get started because I'm starting to sound a little repetitive. And we have Leo, North Node, Aquarian, South Node. That's what I'm starting with. And look, let's take a look at Leo. The card for Leo and ruled by Sol, the sun. Leo, as a North Node Leo, and I'm going to be doing more videos about moving forward in career too. This is just the beginning, okay? North Node Leo video axis. Okay, so basically what I feel like is removing. Now remember, if you have North Node Leo, you have South Node Aquarius. So we're moving out of being so planned and thought driven. Okay, we're moving out of being in this like disclosed or in disguise. Because see, I know a lot of Aquarians that are very planned, whether people know it or not, because they're ruled by Saturn. And they're not really the type to break free from that or out of that and come into like more of a public sense, more of into self-expression and into the heart where you just kind of just go with things. And because of that, as a Leo North Node, you're learning how to let go and do those things. Okay. So being planned and pragmatic and insisting on that doesn't really help the Leo North Node individual the way that it has before with the Aquarius South Node. Okay. So we're coming out of logic and we're being more expressive. This person is not really expressive. Okay. We're being more passion driven. See? We are also letting go of the notion of being right, of knowing everything. See this? People could possibly feel like a lack of connection to what it is that you're presenting to them. It could be on a low level form, like it could be on the simplest form, all the way to something. It's something as simple as conversating with other people, all the way up into something that is major. And you lose people that way. So you're learning to reconnect through compassion and understanding more than being right. Okay. And this is something that, like, I'm telling y'all this stuff, but this is something that y'all could practice when your everyday life to start doing this. Okay. Being, listen to others, hearing them out, saying, oh, okay, and and understanding like, okay, well, you know what? They know what they know. That's what they know. We all have our different perspectives. We have our different understandings. Fine. Okay. But that does not, remember, it does not make you above them. It does not make what you're saying and your perception on life right. Yes, you're very intellectual, but you know, sometimes, and especially with Leos go with what they're passionate about. Leos go with the heart of the matter. They follow their heart, not necessarily their mind and what they can construct with it. Okay. So they're a lot more open. And I feel like as a Leo North Node, sorry, I accidentally put the lid halfway back on and it fell off. But anyways, as a Leo, and you know what? I honestly feel like what this is telling me, that was seemed pretty, the fact that it came on y'all's video when I'm just about to say this is more evident that as a Leo North Node, you're going more into trusting into a higher power. Let me explain. Okay. And being open to that. I think that Leos have this understanding, but at the same time, because Leos could be ego driven a lot, they could tune this aspect out when they're not really dwelling in that space. You get what I'm saying? But Aquarians, the craziest thing about Aquarians is that Aquarians are very intellectual, very smart, but they have a powerful intuition. That's where they get a lot of their ideas from. But they tend to dismiss that. The very thing, that same thing that they know of, they tend to dismiss it. Okay? Remember, with all signs, what they're known for, they're usually also lacking until they move past their own barriers. So you find a lot of Aquarians with certain type of God complexes or know-it-all. Like, for instance, you could take an Aquarian and they can, like what I'm doing, and like I can hear little voices and things like on the spiritual realm that accesses my emotions, and I can speak. It can speak through me because of that. A lot of Aquarians will probably say or believe maybe, yeah, but that's really you telling yourself that, and so on and so on. And I'm like, but I know myself and I know what I'm telling myself and then what I'm feeling. You see what I'm saying? So Aquarians can dismiss that. As a Leo North Node, you're encouraged to be part of some type of organization. I don't really promote religion per se, but I can in this instance. You see what I'm saying? Like a certain type of practice, be knowledgeable about that, knowledgeable about the spiritual world in a sense to where you understand it and you're open to it. Because really, honestly, there could be guidance that you could be getting that you're dismissing because of logic. And with the Knight of Pentacles, this is about service on a individual level. You may have to learn and understand the concept of, hey, instead of thinking for the whole, instead of just being all about all of humanity, to where your personal relationships, your personal jobs, the way you build income, all that suffers. Okay? Because you're busy creating and living it to others to understand. No, this is about coming down, okay? Maybe being into material a little bit more not materialistic. That's a totally different thing. But being personal, like being able to be in partnership and connection with the individual person and giving the effort, putting in the energy and the time, you know what I'm saying? And also, Aquarius South Node is used to, is not really used to being and experience the same way as a Leo would. Aquarian South Node is going to be more of, well, you know, I don't get why they need it. I don't get why they need the attention. I don't get why they need the involvement. I don't get why they do this and do that. Why can't they just do it on their own? Leo North Node, what you're learning is that human interaction, being able to break yourself down on a level to where you're connecting with other people, but you're also enjoying it. You're experiencing life. Okay? Not necessarily dismissing it because you don't understand why people don't need it or why they do what they do. You know, being more understanding. Okay. And more involved on a practical approach. If you come up with a great idea as an Aquarian South Node, you got to be willing to come down and put that idea into practice. Network with people. Connect with people. Like Jesus did. I'm trying, Buddha. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I would say Buddha was more personal, but it's still, when you think about Leo is known for doing things for others. And Leo is a good leader, a good teacher as well. When they realize that, okay, very knowledgeable. They're knowledgeable, and their knowledge is not necessarily based on logic alone or intellect alone. It's more about the experience. A lot of times Aquarians cut themselves off from the experience completely just because they say, well, I know. You get what I'm saying? Coming towards the Leo North Node, you got to get to the heart of the matter. What brings you joy in life? Do those things. Yes, do it in a healthy manner, but the stubbornness, see, you got to be willing, you got to be open emotionally though to see it. If not, you're going to be completely detached from whatever it is that you're trying to do, pursue, or be involved in. Okay. So there needs to be a level of openness, and you got to be able to come out of like the whole, because look, this looks a lot different than the whole. This looks like the contributor of the whole. Okay. See? Be creative. Be seen. Be heard. You know, enjoy. Definitely. Okay, so let's flip this over. Aquarian North Node, Leo South Node. Aquarian North Node ruled by Uranus, and it's the sign of Aquarius. Okay. So coming out of the Leo South Node, what are we doing? We're being true. As Aquarian North Node, we are being true to our creativity, our ability to sincerely care for others. Aquarians can be detached, but they got their motives a lot of the times is for the good of all, the good of the people that they're associated with. That means that you have to have a general care. You're not just doing it. Sometimes Leos can get stuck in, I'm just doing this because it makes me look good. You see what I'm saying? That acknowledgement. Aquarians is not about that. On so many levels. That's not what they're about. But this is about creativity and intuition. See, Aquarians are more sure about what they know because they're really in tune with their intuition, a lot of them. And their intuition, being open to that, gives them higher knowledge, higher understanding. Very creative and inventive. Okay. They just choose not to share that with others on a personal level. It's okay, what can I do to benefit everybody involved? So it will help Leo North Nodes or Leo South Nodes to become inventive in their expression, but more along the lines in their goals and what they are doing, and be able to take a back seat and not really be acknowledged for it on a personal level. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the praise and attention that you're looking for, you got to be willing to give yourself that. Care for yourself. Be sensitive towards your own needs versus having others do it for you. And investments, putting money away to save it. Definitely inventiveness, but what can you create on the, like, for, even if it's not for a lot of people, for your family structure? Service. How can you serve? How do you serve in this lifetime? Others. This is the Empress, but I want you to understand. You see the Empress, you look at her alone in this particular picture of her. Self-love, self-reliant, self-assured. This is a humble person, not egotistical, but sure of herself. Okay? So, for Aquarian North Nodes, it's important to understand that you can provide yourself with whatever you need. You don't need it from anyone else. You don't need no one else to notice. Okay? So this is just, the Sun card is really about being confident in your abilities. Sometimes Leos can lack confidence due to, if they're not receiving a certain amount of notoriety from others. You know what I'm saying? They're not on that stage. And this is about understanding that you don't have to do that. You have to do things that help you practice being self-motivated and self-assured. Okay? And it's not easy necessarily, no. But you got to understand, like, a lot of our actions that we do when we attach ourselves to our South Node, a lot of times it doesn't work for us. We will try so hard to do it and to get it, and it just keeps not working. It just keeps not working. And you got to be okay with saying, all right, you know what? Fine. I'm detaching myself from this. You got to be able to be detached. As the Aquarian North Node, learn detachment. Do practice detaching in your everyday life. Like I told you, if you feel like there are situations where people are going against you, or they're not listening to you or your leadership, be okay with saying, you know what, though, that's fine. I know what I'm worth. I know who I am. I know what I can let go of. I know that I don't have to take on that and what you're doing and what you're believing onto me. Aquarians is all about detachment and, like, always advancing, always thinking forward, thinking ahead, thinking higher. You see what I'm saying? This is mental. What do you know? What do you know? And, like, what is true for you? North Node Aquarians let go of the need to prove it. They think their way out of situations. They think their way out of things, like, and they don't tend to stay or look for anything extra, any extras applauding, any extra, like, they move themselves. They're adaptable. Leos are fixed. You'll get in a situation or a circumstance that you will pretty much stay there. Aquarians is teaching you, like, okay, you want that next step in life, you want to move ahead, then you got to make those decisions. You got to think about it. and really think about it, Leos, and make the decision like, okay, I'm moving towards tranquility, peace, advancement. Okay? The higher cause, a bigger meaning. I'm not going to blame it with, you know what I'm saying? Like my thing, I'm not going to blame it. If something goes wrong, I'm not going to say, yeah, you know, my faith is lost. You know, no. I'm not gonna ignore the obvious. But I'm going to know what situations are right for me and what are not. Okay? And I'll be willing to let go of them. And you know what? I could trust myself. Because I know what I'm moving towards, what I'm investing in, what I'm moving away from, what I no longer need. Okay? All right, and I want to say thank you once again. Please, if you're, like I said, go to the drop down below column, drop down column below, and check out what I have. If I have anything else to offer that's maybe suitable for you, and yeah, email me at butterfly2light11@gmail.com. Thank you.